The Shure MV7 promises a lot for its measly price of $250. Let's see how much it can deliver. This is the Shure MV7, which is a microphone oriented at podcasters, content creators, and streamers, but like its big brother, the SM7B, could have some studio uses too. So let's take a look at what is inside this box while I tell you more about the microphone itself. At $250, the MV7's main competitor is the Electro Voice RE320, which is also $250. But the MV7 does sport a couple more features. So we're going to be taking a look at those features today and doing a more sort of in-depth comparison and review when we publish the full review on the channel, which will be later, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. So just opening it up, it says on the top here, "Welcome to better sound," which is a bold claim. Let's open it out and see what we get in the box. Okay, so it just flips open like that. So we have the quick start guide. Let's just take a brief look, see what they're including. So it's just a pretty simple visual guide by the looks of it. Nothing crazy. It tells you to go download their app so you can sort of adjust EQ, compression, and auto gaining. Actually, it says those are taken care of automatically. When we do the full review, we'll definitely take a look and see how good that is, but I can't imagine it's, the world's greatest thing. I really wish that they had included a link to a setup video guide, because I think video guides are a really great way and easy way for people that don't know much about audio stuff to get started with a microphone. That said, this guide is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, and it's not like it's, a new laptop. It's a microphone. It's not going to be the world's most difficult thing to set up. Let's take a look at what else lies inside the box. So there's another little spacer thing here. It's just a piece of cardboard. We don't need that. And we have the microphone in some nice packaging. First up, that's a disgusting noise, some cables, which we'll take a look at in just a second. And we have the microphone. Let's pull her out. How is this? What the? There we go. All right, one microphone. Let's see what else is in the box. We've got down in this kind of thing here a little adapter ring to adapt it to Euro mic stands, which is always something nice to see. I have the US mic stand myself, so I won't be needing that. Has a little piece of paper in here that seems to be in Arabic. Yup. Really, not really useful for us, but I guess that's something they include. And looks like the warranty paperwork and service centers. So stuff that is important, but not really important to this video. Also have a little piece of safety precautions. I'm not sure how you could kill yourself with a microphone, but I'm sure people have done it. And then a little piece of white paper that I'm assuming was added as an afterthought because it seems to be a note talking about some sort of compliance with Canadian regulations. I'm here in the US, so once again, not something that applies here. Okay, let's start with the accessories. It comes with 2 cables. Awesome. So one interesting feature of this microphone is its built-in USB audio interface. So it comes with a USB cable here. I haven't looked. I'm hoping it's Type-C and will be sorely disappointed if it's not. But it also comes with I'm not sure what this is. It also comes with oh, gross. Another USB cable that goes to Type-B to, I think, USB-C. But we'll take a look at that in a second. That's a little disappointing to me because it indicates that the microphone is Type-B, which is honestly a really worthless connection these days now that USB-C exists, because it's basically the same size and a lot more rugged and robust connection. Anyways, let's take a look at the main appetizer, the microphone. So right off the bat, it's built with all-metal construction. It's a pretty robust feeling hinge. There's nothing that's screaming at me as, they should have spent more money on that. And it's got this built-in little sort of stand similar to basically all podcasting microphones. There's really not much to say about it, but there are some cool features. So up along the top here, we have a touch strip that I believe controls the volume of the microphone, as well as a touch strip to mute the microphone, and a touch strip to enable, I believe, direct monitoring. Don't quote me on that. We'll take a look once we get it plugged in. The windscreen, it would appear, is removable, which is nice. Makes it easy to clean or switch out if you have different guests on your podcast, which is especially relevant with COVID and everything going on. As far as the mic capsule itself, it seems to be sort of protected by this cage. Can it come off? Yes, it does come off. So let's unscrew that. So there's the actual microphone element itself, a transducer, and there's a hair in there. Okay, interesting. That might not be a hair, that might be a really small wire that I just screwed up, but let's take a look and hope it actually works. As far as connections go, you've got a full-size XLR port on the back, a micro B port, and a headphone jack. And that's a lot of connections for such a small little microphone. I'm going to be using the full-size XLR port today to take a look at how it would sound through an audio interface. But if you're someone that either doesn't have an audio interface or is going for a little bit more streamlined setup, I believe that you can actually set up the headphone jack as part of the built-in USB interface, which would make it a great choice if you want to have a couple of these around the studio for a podcast or interview setup. Without further ado, let's pop this on a mic stand and see how it sounds. Awesome, I've got it plugged in. Let's take a look at the levels that are needed to really gain this bad boy up. Now, the sensitivity of this is, I have the specs right here, 1.78 millivolts per PA, which is a solid result. It's a lot higher than the SM7B, but it's not even close to the RE320's 2.5 millivolts per PA. So something to be aware of is you'll probably need a moderate amount of gain. Now let's take a look and see how much you actually need. Just going off the markings on my audio interface, which is a Behringer UMC 404 HD, you need about 40 decibels-ish, 30 to 40 decibels of gain, depending on your voice and your volume at which you speak, in order to get this to a solid listening level. Now, let's take a listen to how it sounds. This is an audio test of the Shure MV7 microphone. Let's see how it handles plosives and a little bit breathier voices, if you happen to have one. I'm going to go listen to this back, take a listen to how it sounds, and we'll wrap up with some just sort of general sonic impressions. If you want to hear more about this microphone or see it pitted up against some other great budget podcasting options, be sure to check out our channel, as we'll be posting comprehensive reviews and comparisons down the line. So going off initial impressions, I'm very impressed. The Shure MV7 has a lot less sort of tinny high-end compared to the PreSonus PD70, and while it's not as bassy as the SM7B, I think that's actually generally going to be a good thing, because it feels a lot more natural on vocals than the SM7B does without any sort of EQ. Now that is something this microphone does have, is it has an EQ option and compressor and auto gain all built into the software. So if that's something that interests you, that might be a reason to consider this over something like the RE320. The other part that makes this microphone interesting is that it does have that built-in USB audio interface. And while I can't speak to the quality of it at this point because I haven't listened to it, that does make it a more appealing option to someone just getting into streaming or podcasting, as you don't have to shell out extra money to pick up something like this Behringer or a Claret or a Scarlett audio interface. At $250, I don't think there are many microphones that are a great alternative. It's cardioid and is a dynamic microphone, so you're going to get really good rejection of the room around you, and that little bit lower sensitivity compared to something like a condenser microphone means you're going to pick up less of the environment around you as well. So you're going to get less reflections off walls, especially if you have an untreated space. That will be an issue. Having already taken a look at the PreSonus PD70, I mean, I don't think there's any situation where I'd ever think twice about spending the extra $120 to pick this up. Sonically, it's a huge improvement, it has way better features, and while it does lack like a pad and a low-cut filter, which are also things the PD70 lacks, the features that you get out of this, and most importantly the sound, just blow the PD70 out of the water. I mean, it's not even close. The MV7 is, at least from that initial audio test, probably going to be my new recommendation to anyone looking to get into the podcasting world. It's just solid. That's really all there is to say. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to check out the full review if you want to learn more about this microphone when I do release that, which will hopefully be in a couple weeks. You've been watching Vodek, and I will see you in the next video.